Hey, beautiful people. Hey, beautiful people. I hope you all are, in fact, magically delicious, blessed, and highly flavored. I know I am. So, listen, today we are going to be talking to an amazing human. Honey, let me tell you, she is a people developer. Now, how many people do you know that develop other people? I mean, I know people that develop communities. She's like, no, 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 no. I want to develop what is going into the communities. Look at God. She she is a communications strategist and coach. Y'all, she's a motivational speaker. She is all that in two bags of chips. I want to introduce you all, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready, and neither are you. Let's just be real here. I'm not ready, and neither are you. Let me tell you why. I am a queen from beginning to end. I don't need you to lose for me to win. I am that fire, that magic, that bold, that command your soul within. I got money from checks I cash. I got talent. This shit gon' last. I be grinding wishes, dear sons and daughters. Tell y'all go hush now, like blue. I've been guarding. I'm the thing to tell yourself. I'm good for your health. I'm good for your wealth. I'm the thing to tell yourself. I'm your mama. I'm your sister. I'm your auntie. I'm your daughter. I am beauty. Show no ugly. Follow me. I'll take you back. I am the light in the night time, giving you life. Yes, I ride for my bloodline. Y'all, are y'all ready to meet her? Are y'all ready to meet her? You know, for some reason, I don't know, something in my spirit says y'all aren't ready yet. So if you're not ready, that's all right. Let me be a bill. This ain't your everyday ugly. Listen, it's a lifestyle, a movement, and a brand. Get your ugly gear at aprilsampe.com. That's aprilsampe.com. Ugly. Understand God loves you. I told y'all I was going to introduce you. Y'all, please put your hands together. Show some love to my girl and now yours, Miss Missy West. Hey, gorgeous.
Hello, April, my beautiful, ugly queen. How's it going?
I'm as ugly as they come. I am ugly as they come.
I love it. I love it.
Are you having an amazing day on purpose?
Baby, I'm having an amazing quarter. Amazing quarter. Yes, we are in December, baby. Get into it. And listen, we about to end this thing super strong. Take one for me. Take one for me. Yeah. And I'm really excited. Really, really, really excited. Really excited to be here. Thank you, April, for allowing me to be here, sis.
You know, I'm happy that you're here. This has been a long time coming. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it all the way out there.
Yep.
So you and I met, and I'm gonna say 153 years ago, give or take.
Right. Right.
So all the beautiful people who are listening right now, we were at this amazing event in down to the Florida. And we were speakers on an amazing, I was going to say on a panel, but we were individual speakers. I don't think we did a panel.
That's right. You're right.
When I tell you that this woman got up and spoke to my soul. And it was one of those things where she was pretty much telling us that we had to just be better. Be better, be better uses, be better for the world, be better for your family, be better for your spouses, be better for your children, just be better. And it was one of those things where I'm like, you know what? There are a lot of areas that I need to advance. And it's funny because after that event, I personally left my quote unquote day job. I'm saying quote unquote, my quote unquote day job. And I went to work for a good girlfriend of mine. But that event changed me so much. So I just wanted to say to you, thank you, because that was a touching experience, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of move what we talked about there, how to advance ourselves, how to be the best quote unquote us's we can be. I wanted to move from there to, to here.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me a little bit about when people are moving but never making it to their destination. What does it look like? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a part of my my brand
Mhm.
is helping people find their voice with reason, right? So we have voices. Some of us lose our voices. Some of us are rebranding our voices, reshifting, pivoting voices. That's a part of my brand for my business. And you and I were talking a while ago about, moving and shaking and moving and shaking and moving and shaking. And, and it dawned on both of us that, a lot of us's out here are moving and faking, but not really necessarily moving and shaking, right? That, baby.
That was a bars. Moving and faking, but not moving and shaking. Please say that one more time. Just say that one more time.
Yes. So folk feel as though that they're moving and shaking, and they're actually moving and faking. They're moving and faking. So I want to get into that with you today. And you know what? People use like fake as in, not authentic. Yes, that is absolutely correct. You're not walking in their purpose or their authentic selves. Yes, but it goes deeper than that. So I want to dig deep into it. And I was thinking about this earlier today. I was like, listen, I'm so over surfacey conversations, April. So I'm really hoping that we can get into it, you and I.
Yeah, listen, you know what? We can dig as deep as we can,
Yeah.
and as deep as I guess the masses will allow us to go.
Love it.
Let's dive. So realistically, if I'm talking to the average person, or no, let's use social media, because I feel that social media is what is making a lot of people the way that they are today. Do you agree?
I agree. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at social media and the way people communicate. People are showing a life they don't have, right? And so my question to you is, how would one stop necessarily putting that life out to the world and maybe showing people where they're trying to get to, as opposed to where they are, the world that they're portraying? Because I'm like, I really want to dig deep into this. I really want to dig deep into this. How do you get people to stop trying to pretend that that they're who they say they are and actually be who they say they are?
You know what? When I think about that, it reminds me of how the pandemic made us sit still, and it made us sit still. Took off the eyelashes, the makeup, the wigs. My husband grew a whole beard. Never knew he was able to grow a full beard. So authenticity came over us during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whole resetting of rebranding yourself. So a lot of people were able to rebrand themselves. And then they moved into a situation where they were branding themselves so much that you couldn't even recognize them. You couldn't even recognize who you're talking to. You couldn't even recognize who they were. I'm all about rebranding. I'm all about shifting, rebranding from day to day, week to week, month to month, so on and so forth. But there's something for me that sits still where I can relate to you when you are walking the walk that I'm walking right now. Like I can relate to you better than that, right? I'm not looking for you to be over the thing to teach me the thing. I need you to walk with me through the thing because you just did it a moment ago and you felt that that pathway wasn't the best thing. So I need you to literally say, I did this an hour ago, not I'm over it. But I did it an hour ago, and I quite frankly wouldn't recommend you to go in that path. So baby, go this way instead.
Okay, so I want to talk about that for a second. So what I'm understanding from you, because I remember as a child, back in my day, Okay. Parents, just elders, just the elders would come and say, babe, that's not your direction. Let me hold your hand and move you. I don't feel like that's this this generation. And I'm going to put us out there. And I can't say you, I can't say me. I don't have any children, but I still believe that we need to be that pathway, right? And the reason I say I can't say you because you work with the children, right? But there are a lot of people out there who say, you know what, I want to give you my secrets because those secrets are my secrets. I'm like, no, let your secrets out because you're the reason that I might not make those same mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes, but you're the reason that I might not make those mistakes. So talk a little bit more to that because I feel that that's one area that is a huge problem in the world today.
Yeah. So, as you just mentioned, I work with young adults every day, young adults between the ages of 18 and 30, as an example. And the reason why I connect with them at my tender age of soon to be 49 years old come May, and I'm able to.
Wait, Paul, what are wrinkles?
Yes, baby. Get into it. Get into it. The reason why I'm able to do that and the reason why I'm so connected to these young adults is because I speak my story. I'm a person to tell my story. I'm a person to tell them that my superpower is dyslexia. I'm a person to let them know that I can now stand 10 feet to the ground to tell you that I'm a public relations strategist with my dyslexic looking backward letters and words and misspellings and all the things. And I've evolved into a space because our young adults, and we call them champions, but our young adults and adults alike feel as though that they have to be stuck in this position. They have to be situated or stuck in the situation or not able to get out. I miss those times when individuals from back then and said, baby, come sit down here, sit at the feet of wisdom and let me share with you some things that I went through. Let me share with some things that I just went through. Let me share with you some things that I went through 2-3 divorces and I want you to move in this direction. And this is what taught me to do this. Let me share with you some things that, I was broken and depressed and I was going through, having, interesting, thoughts going through my mind to make me not want to move, but to stay in this non-authentic space. Mm-hmm. I missed that opportunity. And for me, being truthful with these young adults, I have a 14-year-old, right? So I don't candy coat anything. They live this life, April, out in this world. We talked about this before we came on here. In my opinion, we were born and raised a different life. We were latchkey kids. We were latchkey kids. So we had to grow up fast. Some of us had siblings, so you had to be the older sibling to the younger siblings and watch them. These young adults see a lot more things that I probably have never seen before. They grow up a whole the stories that they tell. So they look at me as if you can't tell me anything. There's nothing that you can tell me that's going to take me to the next level until I get really real with them and let them know and take my mask off. And let them know I'm right. Like literally, I got you and I understand. So really being real with them, bringing back that sit at the feet of wisdom with these young adults who's living a whole life right now. They live in whole lives right now. Sitting with them and walking with them. And again, like I said earlier, letting them know it's not always about the person getting over the situation in order for them to tell them wisdom. I could have just did it yesterday, April. I could have just did it yesterday, whatever that it was. Mm-hmm. And I'm on screen to the young adults. I speak to hundreds of them a day to let them know, guess what I just did, y'all, yesterday? And I take my mask off and I'm able to share with them. They're like, Missy, you didn't have, because I look at you like, but you did that? Yeah, I just did that an hour ago. I don't want y'all to do that. So let's do this. And I'm going to do it with you.
I hear a lot. So this is really random, but I wanted to bring this up as it relates to like grades or as it relates to pregnancies, as it relates to, I want to go all over the spectrum as it relates to just anything it's like for some reason parents forget that they were that age. And so parents don't want to tell them about the bad things that they've done. But those bad things got you to where you are today. Those going through adversity teaches you how to be the person that you are today. Stop believing that just because you went through it, you don't need to share that. No, that needs to be shared. I also wanted to talk, well, actually, let me go back to it, the school to prison pipeline. So my brother, my brother was on here a few months, about a month ago, and that's one thing that he focuses on. So he teaches young kids breath work because he realizes how easy it is for children to go straight to prison because of the way that the schools are set up. And so it's wonderful to have people like you to say, hey, I've made mistakes. Don't make these mistakes. Because this is where, this one mistake, if I wouldn't have learned from it right here, I could be here. I know people who have gotten here, and this is where you definitely don't want to be. So if we can just stop right here and learn from right here, then maybe you can grow. And maybe you can become the next, whatever it is that you want to be. Sitting still. I like how you said that. And for some reason, adults don't know how to do that. When you sit still, what does that look like for you?
You begin to smell yourself. And when I mean smell yourself, you begin to sit in whatever it is. Like you get a chance to really breathe yourself, smell yourself, see yourself, hear yourself. Sitting still, that's also movement. We're talking about movement. That also means sitting still and really taking yourself in. And a lot of us as adults don't feel comfortable looking at ourselves, let alone hearing ourselves, let alone, really just breathing in. So sitting still for us now as adults in the life that we live is really hard because we got to really come to ourselves. That's what the word said. The word said, and he came to himself. And it's very interesting when someone comes to themselves, reality smacks them dead in the mouth. Dead in the mouth. Because we're our own worst critic. We are our own worst critic. So reality smacks us dead in the mouth, right? A lot of people can say and do all the things and the accolades, and they can also give you feedback and growth areas and blah, 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 blah. But when we're able to sit down and smell and breathe and look and hear ourselves, because some of us don't like to hear it, the way, our own voice. Some of us don't like to look at ourselves in the mirror. It baffles me, April, that people will brush their teeth and wash their face in the dark because they don't want to face themselves. A lot of people I've coached, women, men, and I ask them, do you turn the light on when you're in the bathroom getting ready? And they say, that's funny you say that, because I don't look at myself when I brush my teeth. I don't look at myself. I know where my face is. I know where my teeth is. I know where my ears are. I know where my hair is. And it's a lot of individuals are not able to come and sit because they have to come to the reality and be authentic with their own selves. Take the mask off for themselves. It's deep.
Well, okay, but I want to know what is it that a person would look for within themselves that would realize that? Like, what made you ask that question? I mean, I know that this is not one specific person based on what I'm hearing. This is a lot of different people. So what are the things that you hear that lead you to that?
I mean, think about the common things that one would say, right? When I hear other individuals saying that, they hear themselves, their voice saying, you ain't good enough. You're not good enough for this. You don't have the right skills. You don't have the degree. that it takes to do the things, right? I've been through several relationships and marriages, and it ain't me. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not, they're not for me, or I'm the problem. That's what happens when they're sitting still, April. They come to themselves, and then of course the mind goes in a different direction. And what they're hearing is, I ain't good enough. I ain't good enough. That's what they hear. That's what's happening to the individuals that I hear. And I encourage the sitting still, because what happens is, I think as society we get really numb with individuals. It's like it's almost written where you have to give all of these praises and accolades to another person to make them feel and puff them up, instead of giving them that real feedback or that real sense of what they need to hear. So when all that's on and the doors shut, April, and they sit down to themselves and they look at themselves, that's what they hear, because they hear all along, oh, you're doing great, all this, all that, so on and so forth. But when that door is shut, that real sit still, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. And I love when people they're able to really sit down and listen, because we need to get through that muck. We need to get through that ugliness. So we can get to the root of it. So that when we really be able to sit still, we can begin to affirm ourselves. That's what I hear when I coach individuals. That's what they hear.
You know, it's funny when you said that person saying, I'm not good enough, right? That voice, that inner voice that says, you're not good enough. That's the person that's always moving but never making it to that destination.
No.
Because they're always trying so hard to prove to everyone else that they are enough. So they're doing 10 times more than they should be doing.
Yeah.
Not saying that you shouldn't do 10 times more, but is that really what you want to do? Or are you doing the 10 times more in the field that you're looking to arrive in? Right? Yeah. So you have a lot of people moving. And I'll be honest, since we're being very transparent, I was that person. When I worked in the bank, I was constantly doing everything to prove that I was enough. And it was one day I woke up and was like, wait, I'm the baddest bitch out here.
Right.
Why am I doing so much? Why am I killing myself? These people don't care about me.
Right.
And I don't care. I'm not saying I don't care. I cared about my team. I cared about my employees. That's it. And so it's funny that when I woke up, when I sat still, so I love that you said that. And I look at it as downloads, right? We don't take the time to receive our downloads.
Yep.
We're always uploading information. We're never receiving the downloads.
Yep.
To receive those downloads, we need to sit still. I love that. I love that. So when it comes to the downloads or being able to receive those downloads, what advice or what feedback would you give to a person who needs to get to that level? So needs to arrive at their destination, and they're sitting still, but they're still hearing all of those inner thoughts. What not even advice. Do you have any tools that you would give to them, or any tricks or tips that you would give to them to help them kind of get or receive those downloads?
You know, April, it's a oldie but goodie, right? I'm a huge person on affirmation. Huge, 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 huge. There is power in the tongue. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you consistently say the thing, walk the thing, be the thing, if you consistently, that to me, that never will ever die. Words have power. I always say that molecules live on words. So the words that are coming from your thoughts to the mouth, you know, the whole thing. When you speak it in the atmosphere, that's an oldie but goodie. Affirmations. I will tell, it's an oldie but goodie. We've been hearing this for quite some time. You hear it all on YouTube. You have it all throughout social media, internet. Words have power. Affirmations, if you begin to speak it consistently every day, counteract or counter, speak what's coming from your mind and your mouth consistently, you will be it. You are the you be. You will be. You will be. And it even goes from you will be to I am. I am. I am. I am. Because that's another shift, right? You're speaking things into the future, but then are we actually operating in the I am? So if I would have to say something to someone, transition your next to your now by saying, I am, I am, I am, and be consistent about it. That's an oldie but goodie for me. If I can't say any, that's not a trick nor a tool. It's a whole thing, and it's real.
Well, for some people, it is a trick. It is a trick because they don't believe it. And so they think that it's fake. That's the most real thing, that if people just follow it, if people just do it, whatever you say before or whatever you say after the words I am, you're right. So if you say I am some shit, you're right. But if you say I am these shits, you're right.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can you tell us maybe an example of a person that you assisted in the past that was really at their worst and that you were able to help them out of their darkest hour? You don't, of course, don't tell names or anything. Maybe change the names so you could protect the innocent.
Yeah, absolutely. No names provided or given. I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person that's been a part of my life for a long, 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 long time that does a lot for everyone except themselves. Just move and shake for others, and it became a move and fake for others. So I know that the person is telling the world, I'm wonderful, I'm great, I'm doing all the things. And then when I do my pulse check, it's a whole nother thing. So for this particular individual, who I love so much, it's a matter of, for that particular person, really doing an inventory check. And with that inventory, weekly inventory, sometimes daily inventory, what is the SH bop, 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 bop that you're bringing into your space? What is it? What is the SH bop, bop, bop that you're bringing in? Because you clearly are welcoming. You don't put the welcome mat down for this SH bop, 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 bop. You brought this in. Again, you're moving and shaking for others. So you're allowing some things to enter into your space, into your realm, into your spirit. Therefore, you put so much junk in SH bop, 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 bop around you that you can't even breathe anymore. You can't even think anymore. You can't even operate. You're operating for others. You forgot to operate who you are. You forgot to operate who you represent. So a self-inventory for my beautiful, beautiful friend is what we do, just about weekly, so that we can, you talked about download, we got to dump. It's a dump.
Okay.
It's a dump. We as people take on a lot of stuff. We take on a lot of stuff. And by the end of the day or the end of the week, we're trying to figure out why we're breathing heavier, why we can't, why do I feel emptier? Why do I feel thicker? Why do I have a headache? Right? Why is my eyes hurting? Why can't why don't I have a voice? By the end of the day or the end of the week, and we're not realizing we brought a whole lot of things around us, and we're not dumping. We're not letting. Why we got to do a dump of some sort, because by the end of the year, we're in December, April. And we realize why we ain't moved nowhere is because you took on the load of everything around you. So for that particular, my beautiful, beautiful friend, I challenge them. I really need you to operate in a sense of dumping. You got it. You have to dump, and you have to take an inventory of what did you take on in your life this week? What did you do? Because sometimes we do that without even thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We as women, we're the carriers. We have the womb. So we're the carriers of the womb. So as an example for women, we carry things because God blessed us to carry a lot of weight. We have a lot of weight. We can do that effortlessly. I've seen pregnant women all the time doing a lot of things. We can carry a load. But are we birthing out that stuff? What is that afterbirth? What are we doing with that? Are we dumping? Are we getting rid of the thing? So for that beautiful friend, I asked that person to take a self-inventory and what are you dumping and what are you putting back into your space so that you can set? What are you doing? Because if not, I'm not going to know who you are anymore. I said that earlier. I'm not going to know you. I'm not going to even recognize you anymore.
So here, this is the thing, and I'm sure I don't know if other people are thinking the same thing, but what does dumping look like? Because the problem is that you have a lot of people that will dump on someone else, right? And then what you're really doing is it's a domino effect. And so, are the only ways to quote unquote dump? I say upload because you're putting it out, right?
Yep.
And you're saying dump. So to me, I look at it the same way. How? What are some, again, tricks? What are some tips? How can we dump properly without necessarily negatively affecting the next person?
Yeah, so that's why I said self. Like you have to do a self. So when that person and I meet, they're not dumping it to me.
Okay.
I'm holding them accountable to take self-inventory and dump it out. So that could look like several different ways, right? It's waste. That's exactly what it is. It's waste, right? So a part of that, number one, the whole, again, oldie but goodie. I'm a journaler. I have about, I can't even imagine. I need to be writing a movie right now. It's so many journals that I've had over the course of my life because I've dumped things out on. You gotta get it out of your system. So it's not about really dumping it on it. We can't move into, we are not built to receive all of everyone else's things. We're not built that way consistently. Now, people are certified, they get paid the good jobs and the good salaries to do the things and counsel and give advice, so on and so forth. But then after a while, that becomes a little bit much. Let's be super clear. So we got to give them the resources to do this self-inventory to dump out. One of them is you got to journal that stuff out. You got to push that stuff out. And it's not going to make sense. It may not even make sense. Get it out. It doesn't have to be any form or fashion. Get it out. That's number one. Number two, April, there are situations or there are seasons where we do have that small, intimate circle. And in that small, intimate circle that I know is listening right now, they up in here somewhere, or if they're not, they're going to listen later. They're going to listen later. When you have that circle, the person who is working the dump system with you, they need to identify what their purpose is. Do you want me to be a sounding board? Do you want me to offer advice? Do you just want me to pick up the phone and put the phone down and let you just scream? What do you need me to do? There's a core circle that you should feel comfortable enough to do these things. And the person who is working this dump system with you, they need to serve a very solid purpose, And they need to know what their role is as you're doing this dump system. Because at the end of this dump system, you should feel freer so that you can receive your next. so that you can move on. So I do believe there's a self inventory, and I do also believe there's healthy boundaries with having a core. And core could be, our apple core ain't that so big. So, having that core around you, I think that's equally as important. And then lastly, of course, healthy things, adding healthy things to your space, right? Everybody it's not in the gym all the time. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do the gym all the time, but they can walk. That, if they're able to do that, they can do other things that will require their dumping that can take place, that they can clean their mind. It can clean their spirit. It can clean their body. What are you intaking in your body so that waste can come out? What are you receiving in your ear? Did you do too much Netflix this week? What does that look like for you? Right? So that healthiness, what are you receiving spiritually, mentally, physically? And I'm speaking to myself at this second. Let's be clear. I need to keep it real. I do this all the time. I have to do this self. I just did it earlier today with my girlfriend. She's like, "Well, how was your day?" I was like, She was like, I was like, And let's talk about it. and let's talk about it. So I got it out. And she was like, "Okay, you good? You good now?" I was like, "I'm good." Boom. And that was it. It was that one core, you know what I mean? That's helpful. So that's the advice that I would like to share. Again, they're all oldies but goodies, but they need to be stirred to the top again.
Yeah. Well, and people don't always remember. And so I'm gonna recap. Look, journaling, your core circle, and adding the healthy things. I want the core circle is the part that I want to revisit though. I love how you said, do you want me to just put the phone down? Do you want me to say this? Like, what is my role? I think it's very frustrating. And I'm going to say sometimes being the core person, right? When somebody calls me and says, "Oh my God, this one," and I want to fix it. And then on the other end, when I'm talking to my husband, and he's my core, and he's trying to fix it, I'm like, pause. I just want you to listen.
Yep.
So now when I go into having conversations with my husband about situations that have happened throughout that day, I'm like, okay, let me make this clear before I get started. Do not try to fix this. All I want you to do is listen. You can add your 2 cents, but I'm not looking for you to be my solution. And so we do have to also be in control of ourselves when we are going through what we are going through. So I just wanted to make sure that we put that out there, that yes, sometimes you have an issue and sometimes you need to have that listening ear and you need to have that circle. Be in control of your emotions enough, which I also want to talk about. Be in control of your emotions enough to be able to say beforehand, this is what I need you to be in this at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about being in control of our emotions?
Can we though? Listen.
Look, we started this out talking about social media. And I noticed how on social media, you see so many arguments take place, so many this, that, and the other. Now, I'm going to put my business out there. So the other day, I had a bad day. And I actually posted, well, this day started off bad. Doesn't seem like it could get any better. Honestly, I just wanted to get it out. And that was my way to get it out. I wasn't going to tell nobody what it was. It wasn't anybody else's business. But I made it everybody's business. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
But that was me being controlling my emotions. Because I could have said, this person did this.
Right.
This pissed me off. I did this. But I didn't. Not saying that was the right way. Not saying it was the wrong way.
Right.
But I noticed that people take their whole entire arguments or their job situation or their family life to social media.
You hitting a nerve. Yeah, the nerve.
About why you think this is such a problem and how we can fix it.
April, I was just talking to my husband the other day, baby. I'm so blessed that I was born in the 70s and raised in the 80s and then kind of moved into the 90s because 2000 was social media. I said, what happened? Why do folk need to know that? Why do you have the video? I don't under I just I don't understand it. I just it bothers me so much. So I can speculate and I can make my my observation and my assessment and all the things, right? Um, I feel, and it's a genre. So let's be clear. It's not every. We talked about what millennials and Gen Zs and Gen bop 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 bop. It's a whole era. It's eras. So it's everybody don't do it. Or all the eras don't do it. And a couple things come to mind when I see that because I'm telling you, it pinches my whole side so bad when I see that. Insecurity instantly pops up for me. Insecurity pops up for me because number one, because individuals feel as though they need to have someone side with them. So they put their thing out there, right? And then they look for individuals to, so the comments, it's all about the comments and the likes and the loves and the whatever the case may be. And that insecurity for me, they're looking for somebody to side with them. And then half the folks will side and say the thing. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, bruh. Bop, 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 bop. And the others won't. And if you notice, they'll reply to the ones who are not sided. It's an insecure, like what I need, I'm feeding. I need someone. Instantly, insecurity pops up in my spirit. Number two, our beautiful people lost along the way the sense of care and understanding for folks. If somewhere along the line, they don't give a rat's patootie. It's just that they don't understand or want to understand the other person's feelings. They don't care. The care is taken out of it. I'm gonna put your business. I'm just putting it like I'm gonna go ahead and go on social media and I'm gonna put your whole business out because I don't care, which means I don't care about myself. I remember one of my favorite movies is Juice.
Okay.
And Tupac was talking to Omar Epps at the locker. And he was like, I don't give a F about Raheem. I don't give a F about you. And then and he said a couple other people. And you know what? He's like, I don't even give a F about myself. That lack of care is gone. People just don't care. I'm going to put your business out there. I'm going to put my business, your business, and I don't care. I had a relationship with someone like that before. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They put your business out there. And if their business is out there, it don't matter because your business is out there. So I don't care. We have a careless society. We have a careless of feelings, careless of, I don't care. And I hear that often from our young folk, from our older folk. I don't care. Did you know that you talk to some? I don't care what she thinks. Did you realize that I don't care what he thinks? I don't care what people think. Yes, you do. You have an insecurity. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It bothers me so much, so bad. But if they come and sit down with themselves, we're talking about moving and faking and moving and shaking. If they sit down after it's all said and done, and they have to look at themselves in the mirror, which they don't want to do. They got to hear themselves what they don't want to hear. They got to smell themselves what they don't want to smell. Bothers me so bad.
So I don't mean to get on that topic. Have you seen any of the Tamar Braxton situation?
Yeah. Yeah, I have. I have.
Okay. I'm only asking that question because that I mean, so I love me some Tamar, but that's the direction that it's like she's at that age that she shouldn't be all over the social media, and I call it the social media, all over the social media the way she is, putting all her business and everybody else's business out there the way she is, and you would think that she wouldn't do that. I love me some Tamar Braxton because that voice is fire. Um, but I just wanted to bring that up because that's something that I noticed that she handles things the same way that a Cardi B would handle things. And I'm like, just want to have a little bit more class, just a little, you know what I mean? Just okay, Joe, if you will. No, I got the insecurity and I got that people don't care.
Yeah. We have a careless society. That's how I want to claim that. We have a careless society at this point. Yeah.
And I actually agree wholeheartedly. It seems like we cared the most during the hardest times of our lives. It's funny because we cared a lot during 9/11, but we didn't care at all during I call it the panorama. During the panorama. It's it's just like it's about me and that's it. And here's the thing. One thing that I will say, and I don't know how you feel about it. I do feel that it has to start with you. Meaning, put your mask on first. So let's get on an airplane. Put your mask on first because if you can't breathe, you can't help the person next to you.
Yeah.
But you have to care about yourself in order for you to care about the next person, which I feel is what your point was. These people, we're in a careless society because most people don't care about themselves.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Okay, so then what are the steps that we can take to change that? Do you feel that there's a solution?
Yeah. Again, I'm so glad that I was raised in eras that none of that existed. I picked up my rotary phone, baby. Yes. And don't let me skip my number. I would have to hang on, do it again. So listen, I picked up my rotary phone. I went down the street or drove down and I talked to, again, that's a part of my business. People lose their voice. They forget how to use the tool that they have. And they go to social media indirectly to put the thing out on social media, knowing that these likes and love, because people be people, and this is a peopling world, boy. They be peopling instead of going directly to the situation or the situations or the people at hand. Right. So that's what's the solution? We need to go back to a space where this media, this social presence used to be a thing where I got in my car and put some gas in my car and go talk to the person. Pick up the phone and so look, I got beef. Let me go back to the 80s early now. I don't know where the beef came. Listen, I got beef. Let's talk. I got a situation. Something's not right. Listen, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been thick in the air. And I want to talk about it. Where again, that voice, it became our voice, this phone thing. That's our voice now. I'm going to talk indirectly to the person. I got a whole audience. People like audiences all of a sudden. And I'm going to talk to the audience about April. I'm going to talk to the audience about the person that I really need to be talking to. You know what I mean? That baffles me. So I wish we were able to go back to a space that we can push the button on this social media and let folk really talk to the people that they need to talk to. It's getting out of hand because folk will DM and talk negative and backwards and flip flop and in the backyard, and but not to the person, not to the person. So if I were to have a magic wand, because it drives me crazy at this point, because of the era that I was raised in, I don't believe in it. I don't tell my young adults. I tell my young, be careful. It's your brand. You're branding yourself. When you do that, you're branding yourself. You don't know when or what or how you're going to use your life in the future, but trust me, it's all out on the internet now. You think they can't look at you and search for you and find all of this hootenanny stuff that's happening with you? Yeah, it's a brand, and that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother time. But yeah, if I could just have a magic wand, April, drives me crazy.
So are you sitting down? Because I found this to be funny based off of what you just said. People are always able to have conversations about you, not to you, behind your back, in front of your face. I posted something. It was a random social media thing. It went kind of viral, like neighborhood viral. I don't know. But it was funny. The guy said, "Do you know why most men don't get married?" And this, do you want to know why most men don't get married? This one woman says, "Absolutely not." But do you know that two people have feet that aren't the same size? And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't know that. But did you know that only you can prevent forest fires? It was just something that was funny, right?
Yeah.
Some random guy says how unattractive I am. Now, I don't listen. When you talk about me, I find it to be funny, especially where I am in my mental space. Okay.
Right.
I love me now. If you would have said this maybe 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I'd have been in my feelings, hurt and crying. But today.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I would say thank you. The guy sends me a DM. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were looking at these. I didn't even know this was your post." Pause. So you had no problem talking about me on my page, sir, ma'am. But when I approached you, listen, it's not, I don't care how you feel. That's your opinion. That's not affecting me. Okay, that's your problem, not mine. Don't look at me.
Right.
But you felt bad about it, and you apologized to me. And I noticed. So whenever people say negative things about me on social media, I'm like, oh, good looking out. Like, thank you. You know what I mean? I appreciate the fact that you took the time out to say something about me, regardless of if you liked it or not.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, everything changed. Their personality changes, their attitude changes. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I didn't really think that. No, you absolutely felt that way. You said it in the moment. You were present at that time. That's how you felt. That's what you said. But what you need to learn how to do is calm yourself, because a person like me, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
A person who might go jump off of a bridge, that's who you need to be worried about. That's what concerns me about this next generation. There's so many people that are so overly sensitive and don't understand that some of these people are just hurting. So your hurt is hurting somebody else on a level that people can't even fathom. So, listen, this whole conversation right here is touching me. It's touching me. I want to talk about voices, because that is what you do. You give a voice to the voiceless, right? You've told me many ways that people can kind of get their voice back again, journaling, focusing on their circle, changing their mentality, just, finding ways to motivate themselves, having conversations, receiving downloads, dumping it, like whatever it is that they need to do. What are other ways that people can find their voice when they feel that the voice is completely gone?
I talk about branding, right? So, and a lot of people can look at branding in one way, right? People can rebrand their voice as well, right? Um, I call that, like, we as people can get dry mouthed, right? And we begin to literally become hoarse. Like, we literally can become hoarse.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of rebranding your voice, it looks like, besides all the things that you shared, um, how can I repurpose what I'm used to saying for another purpose? How can I repurpose what I'm used to saying all the time so that I can reset and rebrand for another level, like going into a next, a next space? And again, I'm a big proponent of taking self inventory of all the things that one does so that they can repurpose their voice and restructure their voice for whatever their next level is. So it's always, for me, when people get dry mouth, shut up, be silent, shut up. Because we talk too much. Things are happening too much in your space. You saying too much. You done said I'm sorry 50,000 times to yourself and others all day, every day within the week. And then people look at you differently. You went from one space and they look at you and you're branded one space to another. Shut up. You become dry mouthed. Hush. Find out what you're used to saying and repurpose it in a different way. You need to rebrand yourself at this point. How can I, the things that I normally said, it's a gentleman that I'm near and dear with. Voice is very deep and it can be a bit intimidating at times. And he yells, sometimes on purpose, sometimes because his voice is so deep and it's just natural for him to do. So he's a bit intimidating, as an example. So in his intimidating voice, he also can literally be verbally intimidating. How can you repurpose the things that you, in the way you come across every day, to rebrand yourself? That's important. How can you shift that so people can see you differently and not see you the same as who you are all of the time? What is that going to look like for you? Don't lose your your voice, your voice and the sound of it. Don't lose who you are, because who you are uniquely and wonderfully made. Don't lose that. How can we rebrand your voice, how you used to do things, so that you can be looked at or seen, or you can operate differently without you losing your authentic self? When people losing the voice, it's literally, how can we rebrand it? How can we rebrand that voice? That voice is deep for a reason. It's sexy. It's good. Right? How can we make that from intimidating to sexy without you losing who you are? As an example, I'm just thinking in terminology. And that could be mentally, April. It could be mentally. It could be spiritually. People get dry mouth mentally. People get dry mouth spiritually. People lose their voice. In every which way, every walk, every aspect of their lives, they lose their voice. They get dry mouth. When you get to that point, just shut up. Shut up. Just hush. Just hush. You're doing too much. Let's see how we can repurpose that voice so that you can become fresh.
I love that. I absolutely love that. What does a normal day look like for a person like yourself who has a voice? And if you're trying to get a person to regain themselves and to stop moving, but never get to a destination, but yet to start moving and get to a destination. What should that day look like?
For me, or for one, if I were to speak to someone, it's essentially you said, what does that day look like? How are you starting your day? What does your day start? How does your day start? Does it typically start with you picking up the phone? What does it look like? Does it typically, when you first open your eyes, did you just download your whole schedule in your brain, and you know it's like 50 million things happening in one place? Or are you literally, are you waking up to silence? Are you waking up to refresh? Are you waking up to being renewed? What are you downloading? We keep saying this in this space. How is your day starting? Are you starting with yelling at your kids in the morning? Have you started without speaking to your husband because of or wife or partner because of something that happened the day before? How are you starting your day? How is it? Did you wake up and just open your mouth up and say, thank you, Lord? How are you waking up? How are you waking up? What are you doing? That's the start. How does one start their day? Well, how are you starting your day? That's it. Did you end it before you started? Because if that happens, go to bed, wake up on the other side. Because if you started that way, then you've ended it before it even began. So ask yourself, how do I want to start my day? And what am I going to, in the sense of what we've been talking about, what am I going to download and how am I going to download it? A lot of people are sensory, April. Smells, taste, touch, feel, listening, hearing. So because we're a lot of that, we're humans, and that's what humans do. What does that look like? Do you need to listen to music or affirmations in the morning? What are you downloading? Do you need to smell goods and candles? And what does that look like? Do you need to edify the Most High God in the morning from your tongue? What does that look like? What do you need to hear in the morning? Do you need to hear your partner or your children say, I love you, mommy, or I love you, partner, or I love me. I love me. I love you too, baby. What is it? What do you need? We're sensories. So as we wake up in the morning, that is super important. And how are you waking up? And if you're ending your day when you wake up, go to sleep and go back, get back up and try this again.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that is a really good thing to do. And I actually have done that. I know this is random, and I know that might not be what you're saying. I have done that. I got up, started my day, something crazy happened, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting back in the bed. I'm going to chill for 10 minutes. I'm going to practice gratitude, because even though that just pissed me off to the highest level, amen, I'm going to be thankful that I was even awake, alive, and well to have that negative experience. So I like how you talked about, did you say thank you? And yes, I feel that you need to say thank you not only to God, but thank you for every single thing that is in your life. Because just to wake up in gratitude changes everything. You're right. How are you waking up? And if you did not wake up on the right side of the bed, damn it, get back in your bed and try it again.
Try it again.
Try it again. Put on your alarm for 10 minutes. Meditate on the goodness of your life. And when that alarm goes off, well, this is my first time getting up today.
That's it. It's like we gotta it's like let me get back in the bed. Let me sit down and chill. We have to shut that dry mouth. We got to shut it up. Lord knows.
Ooh. This has been a day. Ooh, this has been a conversation.
Yeah.
I know we didn't talk about like everything, because I know we wanted to dig deep. Do you feel like we dug deep? Can we go a little deeper? Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss?
Because we started off with the faking and moving and shaking and moving and faking, and I love how we just kind of moved into this space. I loved how we moved into this space. So I'm hoping that we are helping some folk today, some people today, as they walk away. We talk about tools and resources and tricks and what's in the bag. Like, what can I do? What I need these things to get me through my day. I really hope whatever we did today and whatever we said today, somebody's going to walk away and it's like, I did that thing. I did exactly what those sisters said to do because I never did it before, or I'm going to try differently. They did it with a smile on their face. They did it with a joke in their spirit. Whatever it may be, I'm hoping that we dug deep enough that we were able to do that. I really do.
Can I tell you what my biggest takeaway from this conversation? One of my biggest takeaways, because I have a lot. I personally have a lot. So, journaling. This is not my journal. I just want to put this out there. Not my journal, but I want everybody to go out and get yourself a journal.
Yep.
I like that you said it does not have to be neat. I feel that a lot of people say, well, I can't journal. I being one of those people. I will start the process and never finish because I want everything to be so perfect. And as soon as there's a messy page, I'm like, if I can't erase this, this is a problem. It doesn't have to be neat.
No.
And we also have to put that on our lives. Our lives, when you want to start something, there are a lot of people who want to start businesses. They don't start because they are trying to get everything perfect. They're moving, but they will never make it to their destination.
Yeah.
This is a way to help you to get to said destination. Start out messy. You want to create a brand? Know what your brand is. You can't know what your brand is until you've had a messy brand. Yeah. You can't know what success looks like until you have failed. You cannot win until you have lost multiple times. Please hear me. I hope you are hearing me, social media people. But I took from that, when you are writing in your journal, make sure that you understand that it does not have to be perfect. Yeah. It just has to be. So, yeah. I took that. You can say anything, even happy thoughts. Come through, Cece.
Yes.
But, is there anything else that you wanted to tell to the beautiful people?
I'm just really thankful and excited to be in this space with you. I really, first of all, I'm super elated and super proud of you, April. I'm super blessed and honored to have met you. These are the things that we as people fail to do, is to honor and uplift others. So I want to say in your space here that I'm grateful and thankful that I met you, that we stayed connected, and I'm proud of the things that I see in you and of you. I'm looking forward to our nexts together as we move forward, and I'm hoping that, again, all the things that we shared today, I hope that someone is walking away understanding that moving can also mean sitting still.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that somebody is hearing us when we talk about what download and dumping looks like and putting something back into them. I'm hoping that they're walking away with understanding the importance of having a core circle. I'm hoping that people are walking away understanding that we need to pick back up the rotary phone. And have the conversation with the person and not at the person with an audience. I'm hoping someone is realizing that fourth quarter, although it's almost over, it's not over. It's not over.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. Well, actually, can I pause for a minute? Can I give a quick commercial? So the third Monday of every month, we are starting something new. And it's funny that you said that. I'm going to be having an event called The Porch. I guess a podcast titled The Porch once a month. And it is going to be with all of my friends from elementary school. We are all still very, very, very close. And the one thing that made these people so magical to me, I don't know how I touched them. I don't know how they touched each other, but how they touched me is they made me understand that I don't want to only be around like-minded people. So society now teaches you that you have to only be around like-minded people. Mm. And what I realized is being around like-minded people teaches you how to just be you. It doesn't teach you how to get better. It doesn't teach you how to grow. It just teaches you how to be in that one little space. You don't move, you don't grow. There's no additional success. You don't learn. And what I'm learning every single day is the more I'm around like-minded people, the more I'm stagnant. Mm. And so I was having a conversation with one of my dear friends who was on here actually the last show. His name is Jua. Jua was one of the people who was on the porch. And actually Cecilia Locke, one of the people who were on the porch. We're going to have these amazing humans coming together and talking about everyday situations, but using their voices. And their voices are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I hope that you all tune in. And then as far as you, Missy, I have some things that I want to discuss with you after this, because this conversation, in my opinion, was magical. So we're going to be talking about a few more things later on. Y'all, if you all loved this conversation, which I know you all did, just go ahead and hit that like button, put some hearts in the comment section, because I feel like you have just been just too hot to handle, too cold to hold. I want to do one more thing. I want to let everybody know how they can follow you. So Instagram.
Yes. At Missology Speaks _. My business is Missology Speaks, where I assist and aid individuals in finding their voice of reason. So that is my business. So Instagram is Missology Speaks _. Facebook is Missology Speaks. If you want some raw, authentic spaces, please join me in any and all of my platforms as well. And lastly, but certainly not least, is my LinkedIn, which is Margaret West. I got that old school name, baby. Margaret. I love my name. So Margaret West, please, please, please come and follow me. And I will do the same for you. And let's stay connected.
Now, I do want to talk about a few things. I noticed that we're not putting a website on here. And so I just want to make sure that everybody who is watching, please, please, please follow her, especially on Instagram and Facebook, because right now you were saying that your website is being redone.
Yes, it's under construction.
Voice, y'all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's under construction. There's a lot of different products that are happening, services that I'm providing that is different and unique. So it just needed a whole new makeover. I'm all about makeovers. So please be on the lookout. J1 24, Jan 1 24 is when it will launch out. So be on the lookout, and it will be missologyspeaks.org, missologyspeaks.org. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
And last thing I wanted to talk about is Year Up. So that's not the last thing. There are two more things that I wanted to bring up. So Year Up, it's a nonprofit organization that you're working with where you are building the children, correct?
Building the young adults. They would listen. They're 18 to 29, right? So Young adults. It's an amazing, outstanding workforce development program that prepares our young adults for professional skills, essential skills, soft skills. I call them power skills. For a good portion of their time with us, it really depends on the program model that they are with, and they're opened up to some amazing Fortune 500 companies when they earn their seat. Get into it, get excited across the world. We are in many cities throughout the United States. So we're excited about that. And they have the opportunity to leave with gainful employment. So we just want to make sure for Year Up that we are closing. The motto is close the opportunity divide. That's our motto. We want to make sure that gap of young adults who feel like they can't do or was told that they can't do and can't receive without a college degree, they doing it without college degrees and making the coins without college degrees, right off the strength of skill. So love what I do. I'm a director of programs. So I manage young adults in that space of getting themselves ready for the professional world.
Okay, so what's next? Because I know that right now we're updating the website. I know that you're doing a lot of amazing things with, and I'm sorry, anybody who's younger than me, I call them the children. Sorry, they're the babies. You can be 35 years old. Oh, look at the baby. That's just me. Talk about me. Do it tomorrow, though. So, what is next for you that you can pour into someone else? What's the next thing that you're working on?
Yeah, so for Missology Speaks, I am a part of my new service is a communication strategist, so public relations. So I'm really, really excited about this because we have individuals out here who do the damn thing. They just work, they build pop-up shops and pop-up businesses and all of the things. And they just don't feel comfortable in their skin to use their voice. They don't know how to do it. So I not only provide the communications part and the branding part of their social media or their websites and provide their correspondence and their content. I not only do that, but I actually coach how to use their voice in front of camera, in front of microphones. The mic is your friend, y'all. The mic is your friend. Mic is your friend. So in front of mic, in front of audiences. So I infused my businesses together. So I not only do the content and write the content. And let me tell you, I get into it. When I tell y'all, you speaking to a person who has a superpower of dyslexia. And for those who don't know what dyslexia is, you see all things all which way. Remember, the Cosby Show when, the son had dyslexia. They talked about it. You look at a bicycle, but what you don't see, the handlebars is down here, the wheels is up here. That's what we see. We see something different. So for someone who had dyslexia all of her high school, her mama didn't know anything about it until she was a full-grown person. And I didn't find out until I was an adult and fearful of using my voice and fearful because I was going to make errors. I always blame it on Siri, blaming everything on Siri. And now I'm able to use my own voice to say, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm teaching others. Baby, you can do this too. You can do this too. Let's walk you through. So I have some coaching programs associated with my being a public relations strategist and a communication strategist. So that's the new April. That's the new in 2024 April.
Yes. Come through 2024. I'm looking forward to it. I'm seeing nothing but just amazingness around you. I can see all of the amazingness that is surrounding you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for just everything that you poured into all of the viewers as well as myself. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to join. And thank you, audience. Thank you, April's audience and the folks who represented in here. I'm hoping y'all going to have an ugly, amazing rest of the year, because that 2024 gonna be banging for each and every one of you.
2024. You know what? I'm not even gonna stop at 2024. 2020. Actually, no. Today is the beginning. So I'll leave you all with this because I love that. Today is the beginning for the rest of your life to just grow and be the best you. And I see that for you, Missy. I see you just winning, 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 climbing, 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 and pulling up the next one as you go. Pulling up the next one as you go. I see it for you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, sis.
Thank you, April. Appreciate you so much, sis. Thank you so much.